Hi guys, Big Niche here. I am cooking myself a little bit of breakfast. Actually, I'm just toasting a bagel right now, but so rudely interrupted by the sound of my dog drinking water. Anyway, I wanted to poach some eggs. I saw a recipe for it online. I don't know if it's really a recipe or just how to cook tutorial online, so I'm gonna try it. The gist of it, basically just boil some water, strain your eggs, keeping the egg white and the yolk, but there's apparently like a liquidy sort of water-like outer layer in the shell that you want to get rid of. So I'm gonna try that with the strainer that I have. I don't know if that's a proper strainer or not, but we're gonna find out. And then drop them in boiling water and fish them out with a ladle once they're done by checking the whites. Just make sure that the white's cooked and it's to your liking and pull them out. So let's see if I get it right. All right, so I have my water in a pot on the burner. Just gonna let that get to a boil. You're actually supposed to add a capful of white vinegar as well. So I'm gonna add that to the water, let it boil. These are my eggs, and this is the strainer that I have. So we're gonna see if this is gonna work, but I feel like the holes in this strainer might be too large for what they were telling us to do. So, I don't know if it's gonna actually work, but either way, these eggs are getting cooked. Well, I don't know how good this is gonna work because I legitimately cannot get this top off or anything. So, maybe I have to grab a tool. I don't know. All right, as you can see, it is a strong boil now. I'm gonna turn it down just a bit. They said it needs to be kind of a little bit lower than that. A rolling boil. I think that looks good. That's what we're gonna go with. Let's try and strain these eggs. All right, hopefully you guys can see this okay. This is the best I think I can do without an extra hand at the moment. Just give it a shot, I guess, and hope that the egg white doesn't go straight through. Okay, I'm definitely losing some egg white. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely losing most of the egg white. So I'm gonna drop it in and just see what happens. I wanted to do that before I lost the entire egg. So straining it for me is not gonna work. Sorry, hang on. It's just kind of chilling down there. Straining it for me is not gonna work, so I've got to find another way to maybe get that watery part of the egg out. Since the strainer is not gonna cut it, it just had the egg white going straight through the mesh. Anyway, I'll check on this guy in a second and see what else I can do to get that out without a strainer. Okay, so I didn't time the other egg. It's still in there. Just gonna keep an eye on it and then pull it out with a ladle and check the egg white to make sure that it's cooked enough. I'm gonna try to just hold like a paper towel under this strainer so that the egg white doesn't go through, but it might soak up the moisture that we're trying to get rid of. Let's see if that works. And then I'm basically just gonna drop it. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. I'm basically just gonna drop it right in there gently without touching the strainer to the hot water, because then it'll cause the egg to start cooking and sticking to the strainer. So let's just try this again. Just got layer paper towels under here. Got my egg in there. It should be thick enough to hold the egg white. We will see. Okay, you gotta be a little bit quick about it because it looks like it's just soaking up the egg white. So just dump that bad boy in there. terrible plan. That did not work, unfortunately. The egg's in there, but it's mostly yolk, and I'm trying to really preserve the egg white. So I don't know how else to do this at the moment without a new strainer other than to just put the whole egg in there. And the reason you didn't want to put the whole egg in there, they said if you get rid of the watery part of the egg, it doesn't create this cloudy water that you normally get when you poach eggs, and it's just a nice clean poached egg in there that you can sort of get out. But let's just look at what we got going on. So this is the first egg right here that we dropped in. This is the second one. You saw that the water's a bit messy, but you can still see through. And this one's probably about done, so I'm gonna take a ladle and see if I can get that one separated and out of there. See how this goes. Got it out of there. Strain most of the water off, and then I'm just gonna put it, it definitely looks done to me, but I'm gonna put it right here on this paper towel. Soak any of that extra water up. And I actually might be a little too done. Let's just see here. The white's definitely done. I'll cut into that in just a second so you can see how it looks, and then we'll keep an eye on this one too. That one might actually be done enough. I'm gonna let that egg white cook a little bit longer. Get some of this debris out while we wait, and I'll come back to it. Okay, so to me, this one looks good. That is how I would eat it. I think it definitely looks better than that first one. I'm gonna drop it right in here next to it. Now the video that I saw, the guy wasn't doing it, but he did mention that some people like to just drop them in an ice bath so that it stops cooking because it's still very hot. I'm not gonna do it either, but let's just try and crack some directly into the water and see how it goes. Oh wow, that just kind of spread all over the place. Okay. New plan. All right, now you see for the third egg that I dropped in that it made the water very cloudy. Like I mentioned, the egg white just kind of separated and went all over. So let's see what it looks like if I try and pull it up. Can you even see it in there? I'm trying to catch it in there, there we go, without popping the yolk. It doesn't look bad. At the end of the day, is it a poached egg? Yeah, sure. Let's let that go just a few more seconds and I'm gonna fish it out. And then I'm gonna try something else. I just cleaned the water up a little bit, but this is still the third egg. There we go. Drain that. Drop it in these little paper towels we had over here. And I just put the other two on a plate if you're wondering where they went, but get the excess water off of that one, let it sit for a minute. All right, and so for this fourth one, I went ahead and cracked it in this little dish. So I figured if I can gently drop it in there, we might have better luck. And it being in a dish is easier to gently place it in the water instead of cracking it directly into the water. So let's see what happens here. Definitely still separated, but I think it's gonna actually turn out okay. We'll see. Here is the last one. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that out of there. and into the bowl. Let's turn this off. I'm gonna let that cool for a second, get it on the plate with the first 3, and then cut them open and show you guys what they look like. Okay, you guys, thanks for sticking with me through that process that I clearly did not know what I'm doing, but I'm learning and I'm just trying things out. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the inside of these 4 eggs. Before we get there though, if you don't mind, take a second to go ahead and like this video. I appreciate the support always. And let me know what you think about my trial and error poached eggs here. And we will go ahead and cut them open for you. As you can see, I added a little salt and pepper to the top. This is the very first egg that we did. I can tell just by touch that this is going to be overdone. The egg white seems to be a bit rubbery. The yolk seems to be solid, but let's just go ahead and cut into it and see what that looks like. Oh, it's not completely cooked through though. Here we go. That's not a terrible first attempt, guys. What do you think? That is absolutely edible and it looks delicious. It's a bit overdone for a poached egg, but that is a great first try, I think. All right, so that's number 1. This one is number 2. I think it's number 2 is definitely the prettiest. It has more of a roundness to it than the others that I tried. It's nice and put together. It's not kind of like splayed all over the place. It's a little less done as well. So let's see what this one looks like. Ooh, that just burst right open from the other side. There's number 2. That looks really good. What do you guys think? Number 2. Now remember, the first one was the one we did with the strainer. That wasn't quite the right strainer. The second one, we held the paper towels under the strainer, which might actually be effective, but I think I will invest in a smaller strainer for next time. Number 3 was the one we cracked directly into the pan, and this one is even, it might even be the same doneness as 2. Let's just check it out. See how this looks. I think we might have a perfect one there. What do you guys think about that for number 3? That looks really good. I'm pleased with that. All right, and then number 4, I just cracked this one into a small dish so it wouldn't make as much of a mess when I put it into the pot easily. I think the doneness might be about the same, maybe a little less. Let's check out the inside. It's not as pretty, that's for sure, on the outside. There we go. There you have it, guys. That is number 4. All the egg whites are completely done on each of these, so none of them had like underdone whites. Let me know what you guys think. 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe before you leave so that you can see future videos as well. There is our egg masterpiece. And as usual, I really appreciate you guys joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my coffee and bagel and now my delicious poached eggs. Matter of fact, I guess I should taste test. Let's see. That was a bite of the first one, which is definitely overcooked, but still very edible compared to, let's see, the last one. Much, much better. I encourage you to try it if you haven't. I encourage you to try something new while you're stuck in the house. Thank you guys for joining me again, like I said, and until next time.